The leaked recording of Steve Witkoff advising Vladimir Putin's chief foreign policy aide has exposed something quite extraordinary. An American special envoy was giving tactical coaching to Moscow on how to persuade his own president. In any normal era, that would have been unthinkable. Yet in this moment, inside a White House that prizes personal loyalty above diplomatic tradition, it is shrugged off as the behavior of a negotiator. President Trump himself said Witkoff was simply doing what any deal maker does, selling a peace plan to both sides. That may sound pragmatic. In reality, it reveals a confused hierarchy where the envoy seems to imagine he can act as an intermediary not only between Washington and Kyiv, but between Washington and Washington. Let's be clear about what the transcript shows. On this October call, Witkoff suggests that Trump will want praise first, substance later, congratulate him on the Gaza ceasefire, he says, make sure he's framed as a man of peace, then crucially, talk up a deal in which Russia gains Donetsk and perhaps more. This is not just buttering up a counterpart, this is shaping American expectations in Moscow's image. No wonder Republicans such as Don Bacon call foul. Democratic Congressman Ted Lieu went further, calling Witkoff a traitor. Trump supporters instead direct anger at the leaker. It's as if content doesn't matter, only embarrassment. In Moscow, the reaction is more calculated. Putin's team neither confirms nor denies the transcript, yet suggests the leak is designed to hinder talks and that they aren't responsible for the leak. They pose the mystery question, who set up Steve Witkoff? The implication is that somebody fears progress. Moscow frames this entire episode as part of a wider information war, a convenient line that keeps their own options open. Ukraine, on the other hand, hears something harsher. For Kyiv, the leak confirms the worst suspicions, that its territorial integrity is being traded away in private by a man who has never even visited its capital in his current role. The notion of ceding sovereign land as a starting point for peace feels like crossing a red line that is not America's to cross. Even so, Ukrainian diplomacy has responded with dignity. Zelensky is prepared to engage with Trump on the revised plan. After all, refusing talks outright would risk losing vital support at a crucial, critical moment. Ukraine knows its voice must remain inside the room, however flawed the process. Meanwhile, European governments look on with barely concealed frustration. They were excluded from drafting the original 28-point plan which bore Moscow's fingerprints. They were forced to repair it in Geneva. They are running out of patience with Washington's improvisation and personal channels. And what of Putin? He denies orchestrating the leak. Whether he did or not is almost irrelevant. The effect suits him perfectly. Trust in Washington's envoy is shaken. European unity is strained. Ukraine is reminded of the power imbalance. And Trump is kept curious, flattered, vulnerable to manipulation that plays directly into Putin's hands. Here is the paradox at the heart of this affair. Trump wants the win. He wants an historic peace. But wanting it so badly gives the Kremlin leverage. When you want the outcome more than the process, you can be played. A sustainable settlement requires two principles: no reward for aggression and credible security for Ukraine. The leaked call points in the opposite direction, a plan weighed heavily towards Russian demands, a timetable rushed for political theatre, and a negotiator who seems more comfortable in Moscow than in Kyiv. Witkoff may believe he is shortcutting diplomacy, but peace built on illusion or flattery will collapse at the first test. Any settlement that forces Ukraine to surrender its dignity could bring not peace, but set some sort of precedent. It would tell every future aggressor that force pays. So, what does this leak mean in reality? It means the architecture of these negotiations is unstable. It means the principal envoy has lost credibility. It means Putin seeks opportunity and confusion. It means Ukraine must be extraordinarily careful not to be cornered by the very partner it depends upon most. And yet, it doesn't mean peace is impossible. The revised plan developed with European offers something closer to realism. An eventual ceasefire along current lines, robust security protections, economic reconstruction, and pressure applied to Russia rather than Ukraine. That would be peace with integrity, not peace with surrender. Trump now faces a choice. Does he support a deal that lasts, or merely a deal that headlines? A deal that protects Ukraine, or one that flatters Putin? In the end, Witkoff is a symptom. The real decision rests with the president who appointed him. Peace in Ukraine shouldn't be a trophy for anyone's ego. It should be a framework that protects a sovereign country from future attack. The leak is a warning. It exposes the dangers of private channels and personal diplomacy. It shows how easily goodwill can be exploited and how rapidly trust can evaporate. The future of European security cannot be negotiated on WhatsApp. It must be grounded in principle, transparency, and respect for those doing the actual fighting and dying. I hope Washington now understands that distinction.